Hey there and welcome back to another video with me, Lisa MCH. Thank you for tuning in. This is going to be a short one, but it's a really important thing to think about when you are organizing your Google Drive. And we're going to talk about folder systems. And if you know me, you know I love a good file folder system. And really, there are kind of two main approaches that you can take to this. You can do what I refer to as a shallow folder system or a deep folder system. And what I mean by that is how many levels of files or folders do you have? Do you have folders and folders and folders and folders and folders? Or do you maybe only go like 1 or 2 levels deep? So you have like folders and folders and then all your files. And I'll tell you which one I prefer at the end of this video, but I made an example. I've got a shallow folder example and a deep folder example, so you can get an idea of what I really mean by this. So imagine that this is your My Drive, and I'm using an example as a Spanish teacher because I'm a former Spanish teacher. I taught Spanish for about 10 years. And so that's what I'm going to use as my example. This could just as easily be your business files, your household files. It could be, whatever kinds of files you have. But for my purposes, I'm going to go with Spanish teacher. So imagine when I click on My Drive, I would see my main classes. So let's imagine I teach Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. I would see this right when I click on My Drive. And then if I click Spanish 1, I would have a folder for each unit. And then when I opened up that unit, this is where all of my files would be. So my files are really only 1, 2 folders deep. So I only have to go through 2 folders to get to all of my files. So that's what I mean by a shallow folder example. So you only ever have things go about 2 levels deep. Now, people that like this kind of folder system, they generally choose this kind because if they put a folder and a folder and a folder and a folder, they know that they'll just never go that deep into their folders and they will lose stuff or they won't remember which one it is in. So that's why some people prefer the shallow folders, okay? Now let's take a look at deep folders. All right, so imagine that this is my Google Drive. So when you click on My Drive, now I see my classes. So I click on my classes, and now I see my actual prep. So I click on Spanish 1, and then I've got folders for each unit. And then when I click on the unit, now I've got more subfolders. So I have one for assessments like tests and quizzes. I have one for notes. I have one for vocab. So if I were to click on assessments, this is where I would find all of my quizzes and tests. If I needed my notes presentations, they would be here. So that's what I mean by a deep folder system. So now I am 1, 2, 3, 4 levels deep into this one. And really the difference between the shallow and the deep is the amount of subfolders you have. So in the shallow one, as soon as you click on this unit, all of your files are going to be here. Let's say you have 70 files for this unit. They're all going to be here laid out. Whereas with a deeper one, those 70 files are compartmentalized more. They're broken up a little bit more. So now I don't need to scan 70 files to find my quiz or my test. I click assessments and I maybe only have like 5 or 6 things in here. Because I might have my practice test, I might have my rubrics, I don't know, all kinds of stuff in here. But what the deeper folders do is they just make smaller lists for you to scan. So the question is, which do you use? Should you use shallow folders or deep folders? You should use whichever one makes more sense to you. I personally use deeper file folder systems. I like a lot of subfolders. So I'll show you what my actual teaching file looked like. So this is what my teaching drive looked like. So this is where I had my units. You can see I had archives, daily agendas. I had some other folders too that are no longer in here. Then I would click on this. It would be broken down by unit. If I go into Mucho Gusto, you can see I've got subfolders in here. And so there's all of those. So I liked a really deep file folder system. And there are different reasons. Oh, that one really doesn't have anything in it. There are different reasons why you might want a deep one versus a shallow one. You really just need to pick whatever makes sense to you. I will tell you, most people that I work one-on-one with for file cleanup or creating file organizational systems, most people I work with prefer the shallow folders. They don't want folders and folders and folders and folders. So they don't want something that looks like this. They don't want anything that goes this far in. All they want is something that goes like this. That's all the deeper they want to go. You can do whichever one makes sense to you. If you are having trouble figuring out what that might look like, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to discuss the possibility of working one-on-one with you, or even just helping you build out your file folder system that works for you. But until next time, I'm Lisa MCH, and I'll see you for more organizing next week.